Hey, everybody. It's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan and the Fed Chair, Jerome Powell. He had his news conference today, and he took questions from nearly 25 different medias, the Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, New York Times. In fact, the New York Times question was very interesting because we saw Powell, who had said earlier that inflation was just going to be transitory, which means just temporarily here. He has pivoted. He is looking at the revisions and reading this higher, faster, tighter labor market is now going to support the move to taper the printing. So recognizing that inflation is not just going to disappear anytime soon, the stimulus pullback is going to take place. And so the traditional markets really like to hear that, and they moved up. And in moving up, the crypto market followed. Yeah, they are still correlated. Now, do I think they're going to remain correlated? No, I don't think so. But for right now, they really do move in tandem. And as you see, much of the market, close to 80%, is in the green, and some really significant gains. The leading top 100 by market cap is XDC. XDC is up 28%. It's trading at just almost 10 cents, and they published a very detailed blog today about the network's major achievements that they've had over the course of the year. The Core to Bridge, the SDK releases, which I think Quincy probably has worked on those. I haven't asked him, but I bet he has done a little bit of work on that. The trade finance NFT, they're ISO compliant. They are also part of the trade finance distribution. They're the first blockchain company to be in that association for the membership. They have new markets that they're trading in, 18 new partners, including Flare Finance, and 9 tokens now building on their platform. So they have a lot going on. And I'm happy for the community because it has a very strong, passionate, vibrant community. And I'm sure they're just thrilled, as all communities are thrilled when their project is having those very strong double-digit gains. Okay, we are taking a look at some news that's come through. This is Rostin Behnam. He was originally nominated by Trump as a commissioner of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission back in 2017. He's now the chair, and he is one that wants federal oversight of the crypto markets. This is something he said in March 2021. And in October, he said that his agency should be the crypto primary cop. Yeah, I think it's going to get very interesting. So I did go out and find a little bit of video for you that talks about his opinion of how he's going to work with Gensler and the SEC. So just have a listen here. It's just about a minute and 45 seconds long. Let me start from the beginning. All right.
Well, I did want to mention there's this fellow that's become chairman of the SEC named Gary Gensler. I'm not sure if you know who he is, but he obviously is a colleague.
So I do know maybe that's our connection.
But Gary is taken over. I think last Saturday was confirmed and put into place and sworn in. But clearly, a lot of these issues, whether it's Reddit, whether it's the Archegos events, are going to have cross-regulatory issues. So tell us a little bit about your relationship with Gary and how you expect to work with the SEC going forward.
Yeah, so I've known Gary for a number of years, really going back to his time as the chair of the CFTC. And like I said, we have the Baltimore connection, which is always nice. Maybe when we're flowing back to work in person, we can catch up and chat on the MARC train commuting from Union Station. But, more broadly and more importantly, I think this is something that our markets, this audience, we should all be excited about, right? Gary obviously has an intimate understanding of our markets, of our agency specifically, of the community of market participants. He understands Dodd-Frank. He understands the changes that we've gone through in the past decade as an agency. And he's obviously very aware, given the past 4 years of what he's been doing up in Boston and MIT about crypto, which is obviously becoming an increasingly important part of our agency. So I am very confident that we as an industry and community will benefit from Gary being over as the SEC chair.
Did you catch that? If you listen carefully at the end there, he said that he's talking about crypto is obviously becoming an increasingly important part of our agency. He's taking ownership. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they really share their toys or if someone gets kicked out of the sandbox. All right. I want to tell you that the podcast that took place with Patrick Bet-David yesterday and John Deaton, the attorney who represents 65,000 of us, was fantastic. All of it was good. And I'm not going to play any of the clips because a lot of those clips have been played on other channels, and you can catch it on in full on the YouTube channel, or, there are nuggets pulled out on Twitter. But what I really want to point out is this comment, which is also what Raoul Pal has been saying, that the crypto community is about to be the most powerful political party, and that it should probably scare the hell out of the establishment, that elections over the next few decades, and this is Patrick speaking, will be determined by the crypto community, and this will lead to a strong third party, which I'm not so sure about a third party formation, but it could help unify. Well, yeah, his statement that it could help unify is true because crypto does definitely cross all of the aisles. There just isn't really any one camp. Crypto is so diverse. It's probably the diverse community experience I have ever been in. And I'm not talking about just the diversity of where people live geographically. I'm talking about everything, down to everything, down to gender, down to religion, down to your ethos in life. I mean, it's that part of crypto is amazing. And I think if you're in this space, I think you are experiencing it. And that is unifying. It's like music, right? Music's kind of the same. So I'm not so sure about the formation of a third party, but the unifying factor, it does bring people from all unrelated, previously divided communities, I think, together. So this is very interesting for me. And I think he's spot on. And then just to pack a little bit more information under your belt, you need to listen to the Wall Street programmer, Alexis Goldstein here. She is addressing Gary Gensler and the commissioners just recently on December 2nd. Now, remember, one of the main things that the SEC is supposed to do, is responsible for, was formed because of the protection of the retail investor. All right. I want you to listen to what she says. This is so important to have this information under your belt.
On certain blockchains, like the Ethereum blockchain, you can front run by bribing the miner. When you execute a transaction on the Ethereum blockchain, you can pull up a wallet, say it's MetaMask, which is just a browser extension. You can change the fee that you give to the miner to whatever value you want. And if you are a large entity who have trading bots at your disposal, you may do this in order to front run other people. And this is a problem that is so bad that there is an entire paper devoted to it. It's called Flash Boys 2.0. I would encourage everyone on the committee to read it if you haven't read it already.
Did you catch that? I know she talked, a little fast, and the volume was not as loud as maybe it should have been, but it's as loud as I can make it. The miners in proof of work can be manipulated by changing the fee that you'll pay to get your particular transaction through. And there are large traders that have algorithmic trading with bots that can go in and basically front run and leaves the little guy out in many instances. And there is a huge research paper that was done, and they point to people who really were damaged and hurt bad. I mean, sad, sad stories. If you follow in my Twitter feed here, someone has posted that study and the presentation. Here it is. It's on YouTube. It's called Flash Boys 2.0. And it's terrible. It's terrible. So you need to just have that information under your belt when you hear that line that the SEC is there to protect the retail investor. Yet here we've got Ethereum that's proof of work and really set up to be able to front run for those entities that are big and powerful and have those high frequency, high speed algorithmic trading bots. It's bad. It's really bad. Okay. We are not going to go through all these tabs. Don't worry. I am just going to tell you, I'm breaking this video up. There is huge news that I found yesterday. I just really want to dive into it in a way that is completely dedicated for just one video. This is Finastra. They are a software company that have 8,600 banks, and they are promoting the Ripplenet solution software on their front page. Here it is right here, Ripplenet via Vision Total Messaging. I just can't wait to get into it, but I'm going to save it for a dedicated video, and that will follow this video. And in the meantime, let's jump to some fluff. That's kind of funny. In the wintertime in Japan, for a country that is really subtropical, it does have dry winters, very dry winters. And humidifiers are quite popular going on at the end of November, especially through December, January, and February. A lot of people have humidifiers. Well, you can get your cup noodle 50th anniversary humidifier. I think it's just so funny. Yeah, the wackiness sometimes just cracks me up. And then something that really shocked everyone in the last couple of days was this is a designer, a fabulous designer, Aviad Arik Herman. Yes, he is something. He does work that is just off the charts. This is just a little detail work of a one-off that he has done that is just so beautiful, right? And if you go to his portfolio, yeah, I know I'm going to lose 3/4 of the guys when I go through this, but his pieces have been used mostly for the Miss Universe contest. That's really where he's been able to brand his claim of fame. And so, yeah, it's just really over the top designs. Beautiful, really beautiful. But something went wrong here. No, it wasn't Miss Mexico that you see in the YouTube video, which you can watch the entire full show. 3.5 million views already in just 3 days. Amazing. Yeah, people are still interested in this. The costume portion of the show, the national costume, I don't remember this when I was young watching this on TV. I don't remember this part of the show. So this is, I think, a new format that they have done. I haven't watched one of these for years and years and years, but I just remember watching it when I was very young, and it was kind of a fun show. But I know I'm going to probably get some pushback from women who think that this is terrible and that we should really eliminate this in our life. But I don't want to get into that subject for this. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to focus on what this designer did, because it gives me a chance to teach a little bit of Japanese culture, which could be helpful for you in the future. So this is Japan's contestant. Her name was Judy Watanabe. She's 26. She's gorgeous, right? Just absolutely perfect. But here is what happened, and it's an oh my gosh situation. This is a costume that he designed for her. I it has just outraged everyone, because I think there's a lot of mistakes here that he was completely unaware of. And it's not so much that he put her in pink go-go boots that are on a platform heel, or that has the flags on her kimono sleeve. No, that's not it. And it's not the Maneki Neko cats, which beckon good fortune and money to come into your location. It's supposedly, beckoning for that good fortune to visit. No. And it's not the tattoo on her chest, which is totally taboo in Japan. I mean, you still can't get into most of the gyms or hot springs, or you can't even go. There are beaches. Yeah, you'll probably think, oh, this is terrible, but it's just the way Japan is, and it's got a long history with tattoo. And this is not about tattoos, so I can't go into detail. But even at the beach, you have some public beaches that say, if you have a tattoo, you can't come onto the beach. I'm just telling you, tattoo and Japan still don't mix, although that's changing. It just doesn't mix. So no, it wasn't that. And nor was it the chrysanthemum belt buckle that she's wearing. This chrysanthemum is a sacred symbol that's used only for the emperor. was a huge, oh my gosh. But what really was the biggest mistake of all is that in the kimono, I just want to play for you, as maybe I can't find her as she's coming. Maybe here she is. What everyone is talking about is that kimono inspired gown, I guess you would call it. Let's take a look at this right here. Goes right over left. Okay. That is for only people who have passed away. That is how the kimono is folded and presented on a body that is at a service or funeral. And so that missing detail was the biggest problem on this whole thing. So my little opportunity to teach a little Japanese culture here is, if you wear any sort of kimono or yukata, that's the lightweight cotton one that is worn in the summertime, don't do right over left, okay? Do left over right, or people are going to think, oh my gosh, what kind of message is she trying to give? All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.